This is Lena. Welcome back to Obsessive Thoughts. And today I'm here with Matthew Lloyd.
I am an illustrator and designer. I'm the founder, editor in chief, and creative director of 20XX Magazine. And I'm an artist.
How would you kind of describe it?
For sure, we are New York City's art, culture, and fashion magazine. Very local, but not so local as we've kind of been expanding a little bit throughout not just the boroughs, but the world. We are in South Korea now, which is pretty fire
Hell
as
yeah.
of like 2 months ago. And a homie of mine from Japan who recently came to visit, she bought some copies. So now they're over there as well. So
That's incredible.
yeah,
So you do hard copy magazines?
of course, I'm very much like print is alive.
That's
That's
what
my
everyone's
vibe.
been saying.
Yeah,
Everyone I've talked to
so
has said the same thing.
exactly. Yeah, so I'm very big on like physical print, physical media, all that type of stuff.
Did you grow up? Where are we right now?
We're in Queens.
Queens.
We're in Long Island City, Queens.
Okay. Is that where you grew up your whole life?
No, so I didn't grow up here. I did grow up in Queens,
Okay.
in Jamaica, Queens, St. Albans to be exact. And yeah, that's like my home. I love Queens to death. I'm thankful to have my studio space be here. It's like easy to commute.
I don't know where I'm at. So you would have said
I listen, I got you.
any. Yeah, but I love New York City. I'm so incredibly jealous of people that were born and raised here. You guys have a different kind of vibe altogether to you
Yeah.
guys. And
I've always said that like people that are born here, they can take the city for granted
yep.
sometimes, a lot of times. And y'all New Yorkers that's watching this, you know what I mean. Don't act like you don't. Like, and don't take this personally. Not every transplant is created
I know it.
equally.
I'm
Not
a
every
visitor. I'm a tourist. I
no,
will
but
say it.
a lot of people that come here, I think, really do embody the all right, like I came here, like I gotta put the work in. I'm gonna get to it, especially like different artists, creative people, creatively minded folks.
Yep.
So yeah, that's I mean, we love it, we appreciate it, and we have like a connection to it that, is unlike any other.
But I'm glad I did it. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
everyone, if you want to go to New York City for any amount of time, try it, do
Do it.
it
Pull up.
for the experience. And now I
Yes.
know people out here, which is
Exactly.
great.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
creatives I've met out here, like I said, I relate to them on such more of a personal level because I have that city kind of mentality. Like I said, Chicago, New York City are two different entities,
Mhm.
but that same kind of foundation
Word.
of like that urban living and that respect, that loyalty, that pride.
Yes.
I kind of level with you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
for. What made you want to build something focused on local creatives?
As an artist myself and with many peers of mine that are artists, I felt like we and like part of it was like, oh, like I want like to get my art out there more, but
Of
mostly
course.
it started as a hey, like I like design and I know lots of really amazing artists who I think deserve the level of press that the big famous people. I usually mention musicians every time this like I kind of talk about this. I'm always like the Travis Scotts and like the Ice Spices
Yeah,
have every
yeah.
magazine like literally falling over each other trying to get to them and get like 3 words out of these people. But we have like people here in New York that are doing amazing work. They're next up, they're right now, honestly. And, they deserve a spotlight too. So that's what made me kind of really want to say, like, hey, I'm going to dig into like, our whole tagline is like for New York, by New York, and like really like get to it for the people of New York. I'm seeing it now how important this work is. I didn't realize how much it would be when I started. Yeah, I think New Yorkers, we really have a love for each other and like meeting like New Yorkers that were like born here and like, kind of just get it. So I'm putting on for them. I'm putting on for people that are here, folks like you who even like you're an artist, you're here, like you're in New York doing it, So like that's who I do it for. And I think that's important because we're the ones that are gonna read the Travis Scott and Ice Spice articles anyway. Like we could read them about
Yes.
ourselves and each other. So
It all starts like look in your backyard. People are doing stuff that is worth talking about
yeah, yeah.
and showing on your platform and meeting and connecting with, because I feel like local artists to local artists and creative to creative, you
Mhm.
inspire each other.
I do feel like, and this I mean this in like the most respectful way possible. I feel like artists that are closer to your level, you know, or like perceivably closer to your level can inspire you more, just because it's just like, okay, like this person isn't like, I don't know, signed by the biggest music label
Yes,
or
yes.
just got like the biggest gallery deal or is like in this museum. But I think there is an inspiration to seeing people like you who come from similar circumstances and who maybe still are in those similar circumstances doing it to a level that you didn't even know was possible for you.
I like people that support other people, and I don't really care for competition. You do you, I'll do me. It's fine. Marathon, not a race. Next question.
Yeah.
What do you think people misunderstand most about the city's creative scene right now?
I think to answer that question,
Hmm.
you would need to have a understanding of like what the perceptions are from an outside looking in point. I
Right.
feel like being here in New York City, we are getting so many perspectives from different parts of the country and different parts of the world.
Yep.
And I mean that in the sense of like those artists are coming here also to produce. Maybe a lot of people think it's easier than it is. There's like you gotta hustle here. Like there
You
there
have
is a
to.
grit that is needed when you're in New York City, and it is not easy. It is a very expensive city to live
Dude,
in.
I can't even
Yo, like
explain to
it's
you.
yeah.
You need to do the footwork. I don't like LA. I'll say it again. I don't like LA. I'm
Listen,
way more New York minded, New
yeah,
York
yeah,
mentality.
right.
We have a sort of different.
Oh, we okay.
We,
There you go. There you go. Hold on. There you go. There you go.
you know what? East Coast over West in
Yes,
that
Beast
perspective.
Coast. We outside.
That's it. That's it. Okay. Oh, this is a fun one. So,
Mhm.
how do you decide who and what deserves attention before everyone else catches on?
For me, so like being a indie publication, we always need stuff. That doesn't mean like we're like always just taking like anything and anybody,
Yeah.
but I like to find something that I think is or someone that I think is just like is what they're doing cool, like beyond like their followers, beyond like the perception that they might have, like is it
Yes.
cool, like and I think I base a lot of things off of like maybe like my sense of cool, and then like the folks that I have on my team, like their sense of cool. Again, like we always need stuff, so like if something really catches their mind or like my mind and like we're passionate about it, we're gonna go for it. And I think cool, I always have like this philosophy on like what is good art, right? Does what it is attempting to do well. Not so much that it is technically done well or
Yes.
that it is like, like masterfully done, but it is like, did you have a goal in mind and did you accomplish that? Usually with things that like try to mimic things that are technically done well, right? But they don't necessarily do them well. That is maybe like, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad art, but it's just like, okay, like this isn't as good because it's like, I see what you're trying to do, but I really like to dig into like, all right, like I see the vision, or maybe I don't see the vision, but like it's executed and I see that there is something here, like whether I'm a part of it or not, like it has a space, it has foundation, it has grounding, like,
Yep.
and it's real. Like, is it authentic? That's like the big thing, is like,
That's it. That's the
yeah,
word, that it's authenticity. Because people can see through bullshit. I've said that too. Audiences know when something is being forced to
they
them, when
know,
it's fake,
yeah,
and we're craving more of that authentic
yeah.
connection with indie publications, specifically with the people that I've been sitting down and talking to. That's a across the board type of thing.
Yeah. I think now we are like in the age of, and I've had this conversation with like homies of mine, which is like the niche. Like niches are
Yes.
big and niches are important now because of the way that the internet is. Now we're all collected in like the same spaces, but like not at this, like we're all being shown different things. There are people that like do it because they see it online, and then there are people that do it because they live it. Yeah, so it's like really getting into the real versions of like whatever those things are.
What's something about underground culture that instantly changes once it gets mainstream attention?
It can lose its basis. It can lose its rules. A lot of people talk about, and I've heard this conversation come up, especially in hip hop, and the importance of gatekeepers in cultures and subcultures, and how they help these things thrive. Now, a gatekeeper doesn't necessarily mean somebody that's like, oh no, you can't come in at all. But I think a gatekeeper is somebody that's like, hey, like this is like what we do, this is who we are, this is
Yes.
what we've stayed true to.
It's
And
sacred to us. You
yes,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
And it matters. I think when something goes mainstream, it has the potential to lose those things, those maybe those values or like feelings or emotions or experiences, struggles, whatever. It can lose them to people that are not and haven't been a part of that. Like, not so much that the artistry changes, but it's just like now the people that are in that community are less so like strongly beholden to like the same values that
yes.
the people that were in it when it started out are. They're less so connected to the experiences that those people had to go through, the struggles of like, I don't know, being bullied about it, or you know, like it not being cool, but they still found it cool.
Yes.
And that matters, you know, because that's like essence, like that's like spiritual energy almost.
Yes.
It's like it's a
Dude.
lot that can happen and change the space just because those people they didn't earn their stripes. I think where a lot of people get it messed up is they think that just because they are allowed into a space, it's theirs entirely now, and they can disregard whatever else for their own personal things, and they don't need to cater to whatever the culture or the customs or
Oh, yeah.
the words, the way of dress, the way of acting. Like they think that their opinion will matter more than somebody who's been in the space. And it's not to say, this isn't to say that like new folks aren't allowed into whatever these spaces are, whatever, you know, cultural things, subcultural things. That's not to say that they're not allowed, because they're
Right.
always welcome, because
Of
a culture
course.
will die if it doesn't have new
Of
people, right? We know
course.
this. I
Like,
think people forgot how to be a visitor.
thank you.
You wouldn't go into somebody's house and be like, "Oh, I'm not," like if they invited you into their home, I ain't eating that. Like,
Yeah.
take my shoes off. Like,
Right.
nah, I'm not gonna do all that. Like, know where you're at. Read the room, please.
Honestly.
You're new to this, like you're a visitor, and it's just like I think a lot of that is happening as well, and I think it probably also stems from just a culture of like us being able to interact so often behind our screens.
What's something you've noticed about younger creatives that feel different from previous generations?
I think, and I had, this is funny because this goes back to a conversation with another creative. Now, before, you
Mm-hmm.
know, when we were growing up, like everybody knew that selling out was like not the thing to do. But now selling out has kind of become the culture. We have now celebrities that are doing these ads. Sure, you know, celebrities have been in ads since ads have existed, right?
Yeah.
It gets to a point and a level where it's just like, okay, like now everything is an ad. Like now everything you're doing is an ad. And it's just like now you're doing ads for things that are like, did you have any sort of moral kind of thought about this? And like, so,
Yeah.
and that's like a higher level, I think, point of like selling out. We have a lot of stuff that is rage bait is, and it comes with this form of selling out. And I think really what selling out is going back to, you're not being genuine, you're being disingenuous on
100%.
purpose,
Yes.
because your goal is to get clicks, or your goal is to get likes, or your goal is to get engagement and attention, and
Yes.
you know, playing around with like ideas and energies that are not your own. So I think a lot of young creators are doing that. But I do also feel like I always like to, because I feel like a lot of people feel like the internet is completely cooked. It's quite cooked.
We're really close to it,
But
just throwing it away
there
entirely.
there is like still true creativity coming from the young people of today. It might not be the most popular thing, and I think that's why a lot of people get it fucked up and they're like, oh, like everything is horrible. But there's a lot of new, really cool, very genuine stuff that is being created by kids who like have been born into a fully internet age, and
Yes.
they know how to use the internet, and like they can do really cool stuff and really fun things, and they want to make, and they have like a true artist
Yeah.
spirit. If you are somebody that feels like everything that you see on the internet is horrible, fix your algorithm. This is another thing I tell people too. Like, people don't realize that like
You have the power. You have to play the game.
You have
It's
to, yes.
your. Thank you.
Yeah. I always say I'm a big advocate of the not interested button on
I
Instagram.
love
What?
that button. The
Yo.
thumbs down, get it out of here.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love hiding ads.
yeah.
Hiding
Oh,
ads
what?
is my
Hiding
skip,
ads.
hide ad, get out of
What?
my
Not
face.
interested. Why am I seeing this ad? Snooze all suggested posts. I do it all because, like,
Same.
I think people have to be aware of what it is they are consuming. I think a lot of people
Yes.
think of just like, oh yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's mindless. I don't like I'm not going to register it anyway.
Hmm.
It's nothing really, but it is something, you know. Your brain takes all that information and all of it your brain doesn't discriminate. All of it is important. Most of it or a decent amount of it it does filter away because it's like okay, well this isn't important. But a
True.
lot of the stuff you're still taking in, so it's just like I think even with art, you know, even with like different creative things that we see online,
Yes.
there's just so much shit. Gatekeep your mind. Gatekeep. Ooh, I like that one. Gatekeep your mind.
That's
Gatekeep
the
your
line.
mind. I like that
Gatekeep
one.
your
Gatekeep your mind.
mind.
Yeah.
Basic psych, your
Mhm.
brain craves what's comfortable. So like doing
Yes.
anything that's new to you,
Yes.
that is going against your human nature.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's basic science, day one shit.
And comfort isn't only something you enjoy either because you can be comfortable in spaces that you don't really like, but you're just so used to it that it's comfortable. And I think that's a reason a lot of people don't change up a lot of what they see online or their algorithms or even their habits with how they
Yeah.
use social media and things like that because they don't realize they're comfortable. Like they, you know, the work that they would have to do to not do certain things is like, oh, but like I have to do this, and it's like it's whatever. I'll just scroll, and it's just like no, like the life you want is out there for you. You have to go
Do
get it. Like the
something about
content
it.
maybe
Yeah.
that you want to see or don't want to see, like is it's up to you.
Just be careful. If you're standing on it, stand on it with 2 feet,
With
stand
2
proud.
feet and what you believe in.
Has working so closely around fashion, art, and culture changed the way you look at people socially?
This is me getting vulnerable here. I
All
do
right.
feel like I have become not because of my or maybe it is, I don't know. I do feel like me I think it's just age. As you get older, you do get a little bit more judgmental.
Yeah.
You know, I catch myself and I, you know, this is me being real right now. So y'all don't point a finger at me. It's three
Okay.
more pointing back at you. Like
Yep.
we all do it, right? As long as you catch yourself though.
Mm-hmm.
So I do notice that a little bit. Is it because of those things? I'm not sure. And when it comes to judging, I think now, I think my range for maybe what I have come to accept or appreciate is larger actually. Again, like authenticity and validity. I see
Yeah.
that they're real, there's a space and that there's people that care about it. And I long have been the type of artist and art appreciator that is like, yo, like I don't care if it looks crazy or it looks bad. Like, what is it getting at? What is it doing? You know, like I think a lot of people they're easy to write something off that they don't like or don't
Yes.
understand. I'd say my range of appreciation for things, even if it's something that I may not like myself, I may not do myself, a style that I wouldn't approach.
Sure.
My appreciation has grown just because like now as an artist who creates things and who puts things out that not everybody's gonna love, I
Yeah.
understand what it's like to create, to make, even if it's like someone doesn't love it. So I like that. Like I like to say like, all right, like what can I understand the artist's point of view? Can I like see where this is coming from? Like understand that this is their view and their vision and like we all, you know, we live in the same world but different completely different worlds.
Right.
Art has the power to like make you think about stuff, make you feel things, and it can just be an image. It can just be sounds. It can just be maybe like clothing. It can just be all these different things. And
Yeah.
it's really up to the way that it is used and the intention with it.
People really are so damn selfish too. Like it's
Mhm.
not always about you. Just it if you don't understand it, that's fine. You
Mhm.
weren't meant to.
And I think that goes into the way that some people kind of interact with art as well. It's just like they kind of deem something as bad or stupid or useless just because like they don't get it or you know it's the
Yep.
age old thing like people hate what they don't understand.
Thank
know.
you. I've learned to never call something bad or trash or it sucks just because I don't like it.
Right.
That's crazy to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I would also say that I am on the side of the fence where it's just like some things I think it is to call bad just to express your like the opinion and the feeling of something, right? Do you ever find yourself saying like, oh no, that's trash, like I don't like that? And it's not so much that like it's more about like just the expression of it. Like, do you ever get in that space?
I I don't go out of my way to like
Right.
say this is trash. I didn't
Yeah.
like it. But like if you ask my opinion, I'm gonna be
Right.
like, dude, this wasn't for me. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This was a waste of my time. So that's
Mhm.
if I don't like something, I don't like
You're not gonna suffer through it.
right.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
I'm not gonna like you said, suffer through it just to be a part of the conversation. Because
Right.
you know what? There's no involvement for me there.
Unless it's rage bait, then you can hate on that. But that is the point of it existing, is for you to hate on it. So I'm just
It's
like, damn,
literally
they
the
got us.
design.
They
It's
got
the
us.
design.
It's like they got us,
Dude.
which is why I hate rage bait. You know, because it's
It
just like you can. That's unfair. You
a
shouldn't
full
be able to
circle
do-
moment.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
engaging with those
That's the
videos.
best thing
Don't
to do.
comment, don't save,
Yeah.
don't even watch it
Mhm.
because that is what they
That's
want.
truly the best thing to do is not engage
Ignore
with
it.
Yeah.
Uninterested.
life.
Thumbs
Yeah,
down.
I'm
Get,
not interested.
get it
Yeah,
out of
get outta
here.
here.
So, when you look at where culture is heading
Mhm.
over the next few years, what excites you and what worries you?
It's a bit of a mix, I would say, and it fluctuates. I think like right now I'm kind of like in a balance of like people that are my age or slightly older.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer that question, I actually think the onus is on folks like closer to our age.
Yeah.
So I'm 28. You're 30.
Three.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you wanted that. That's what I was like. Yeah.
93. Thank
93.
you.
I feel like the onus is on us to drive that because we are the ones that are now stepping into the age of like we're taking the reins from those older than us that are like starting to move out of relevancy.
Yes, we're the role models now.
Yes.
We are the blueprint. We're the ones that are paving the way for them.
Yes. Just recently, I want to say like a week ago, I was here with
Mhm.
another friend, and he had a friend with him who was younger than we were. So like we're
Mhm.
both around the same age, and his friend was like 22, and he was like, "Yo, like we're looking at you guys, like we want to see you guys win because like like you're leading the way, and we're watching to see how what you do go." So I've long felt like the later 20s to like mid 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
like early 40s is the range of like, all right, these are the people that are relevant and like moving culture and have and also have the ability to do so in like a large range. That's not to say that like young people don't, but they often get the access from people within that age range.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 22, you're still impressionable as hell. Do you feel like a sense of responsibility now?
I kind of do, and I think the responsibility lies on just continuing the work that I'm doing. One thing that I fear is I fear that social media has gotten a little bit too strong, and the way and people have found that a social media way of operating to
Yeah.
kind of be their main way of operating.
It's their lifeline. Some people, it's their career.
Yeah,
It's their
yeah.
entire life.
And that's not to say that that's necessarily even like a bad thing, but I also think people need to realize that the way of interacting on the internet does not translate all the time to interacting in real life in that same kind of way. And the same goes for culture, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
The internet ways and social media ways of operating and interacting with other human beings is becoming very strong. I think it's slow. I think that a lot of things end up happening or existing exactly the same as the way somebody else saw it online.
A lot of people have gone on record and said that everything on the internet is fake. Of course, you're putting your best self.
Mhm.
You're not going to put like
Right,
a bad
yeah.
picture
No.
or like a hard day.
not.
So there's also that
Mhm.
mental.
Mhm. It's performance
Is-
in a way.
Yes.
I'm reading this book now called Post Internet, and
Post-internet.
yeah, it's like this collection of this guy's blogs from like the 2009, 2010. So he's like talking about like all these things. He's talking about art and how we exist in a post-internet like art world.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's talking about in this book all these different things that the way that art has affected or the internet has affected art and creativity, right?
Yes.
And he's saying a lot of things that I felt were like prophetic because I'm like, dude, like you wrote this in 2009, 2010, like we're in 2026. This exact shit is happening.
I know.
And I think that's how I feel. But I do also feel like AI, like people that know me know that like I am not an AI fan, not an AI supporter. Mostly because of the environmental impact, I would say, and also I think the impact on critical thinking and like again the way that people interact with each other, which like I think like
No, you're so
coming from a
right.
social science, like you recognize how important it is to your not only your mental, your spiritual, but like also your physical health to as a human being to be social.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
it. You're
hmm
nailing it
so
all.
that's what I am wary of. It's just like the ways that people are using these things and it's affecting art and the way that we interact. However, I do see a now that people are calling it like fatigue, like digital fatigue.
Yes, there is
And
that like draw
right.
to bring back the simpler times
Yeah.
before we had all
I
this.
think that is what is going to create a shift and further on in the future have a healthier relationship with the internet, I think,
Yes.
because the internet is not going away. It's not, it's very ingrained to our lives. We love it. Like, I'm not going to act like I don't love it. And I think things like physical media becoming important again and print being important, people buying music again, like physical music, like even now with like games, like having your physical game collection, because
Yeah.
Sony's like, hey, we're not going to make any more disc games, like any physical games after 2028. Yeah.
What?
So it's like all these different things people feel like are being taken from them at the and it's like the trade-off is not fair, like it's not something that is good because okay, what's the trade-off? Oh, we pay a subscription service for it. We don't get to actually have ownership of these things, of this art that we appreciate or even art that we make. So I think that people are creating like a rebuttal to that, and they are right now valuing, and I think also the pandemic had an effect, valuing
Yeah.
human connection and human creativity, and like again just like that connection and coming back to recognizing like, okay, this is what it's all about. Like at the end of the day, this is what it's all
Yes.
about. This is how any of this even exists in the first place and why we love it so much. I think that type of energy coming from us, the generation that knew what life was like before it was
Yes.
so ingrained into it, mixed with the internet know-how and the internet tech savviness and like internet swag that like the younger generation
Yeah,
has, I think
absolutely.
we'll build a beautiful kind of marriage of the two where it's like we don't just completely lose our humanity, but we also interact with the internet in like a healthy way and kind of bring back that early internet fun.
Learn how to play the game.
Yeah, learn how to
The
play it.
more you
Yeah, and
know,
bend the
the
game to
better.
your will.
That's it.
You know.
Magazines are like the rebellion form of
Yeah,
media
yeah.
now.
You can find 20XX Magazine at 20XX Mag on Instagram and also on our website, www.20xx.nyc. You can read our articles on there. You can buy our zine on there, which you definitely should do because it's awesome. It drops every single month. We out here in 2026 doing monthly print zines. Print is far from dead. As
Yes.
long as I'm alive, it ain't dead. So you can find us at different magazine retailers downtown, Soho News
Ooh.
International, Casa Magazines, Iconic Magazines, wherever you find magazines. If you go into a magazine shop and they don't got us, ask them why they don't got us so that they'll ask us why they don't got us. And then we're going to be there for you next time you go.
That's it.
You can find me at Matthias.gif on Instagram and my website where I have like my design work. If you want to book me for any design work, matthewlloyd.format.com. Yeah, that's me. I love art and design. I'm a huge nerd, as you can see with my Mega Rayquaza EX Pokemon card.
But you know what? Nerds are fucking
Yeah,
cool because
we're
they
cool
like what
because
they like
they're
and
passionate.
they
You can be a
know
nerd about anything. I'm a nerd about
anything.
so much stuff.
I'm very
Yeah,
pro nerd
pro,
out
yeah,
about what
nerd
you
out.
like.
Be passionate about what you like because you will find your tribe and your people. I have now being like 6.5 years into like running this magazine, like, and you're gonna meet cool people along the way and like just have cool and fun connections. So dive into the life you want and the creativity that you have and your passions, and it will pay you back and you'll be able to pay that forward. So we interview an artist every month as part of our artist spotlight digital residency. The whole goal of the magazine is to highlight New York City based creatives and small businesses and cool businesses. So like we'll go to like interview magazine shops that are stocking us and things like that, and like put you on to different cool zines in New York City from different creators out here. We have our second and third issue. Our second one is like just about to be sold out now. The last of those copies. But those feature interviews and artwork from people in New York, and different people that are just like within the creative space as creators, as art appreciators. But every month, our zine is just different fly New Yorkers from the streets of New York. Oh, we're also on Patreon. If you want to subscribe, you will either get the magazine delivered to your house monthly or get a digital version every month. So check us out.
Do you have a magazine here that we can show?
Please, yeah.
Yeah,
of
no,
course.
totally.
It's actually not even in shops just yet. It's going to be hitting shops this week, the week that we are speaking. I don't know when exactly the video is coming out.
Yeah, and there's a QR code on the back for everyone.
This goes to our Patreon. So if you wanted to support and subscribe to us, definitely do it that way. All the links and stuff I mentioned are here. But yeah, check us out. Drops every month. We have interviews in it now. It's really great. Like got some Knicks stuff in there. Had to get some Knicks drip. Drip in there.
Have to.
But yeah,
that was incredible. What a great summer. It's been a New
It's
York
been
City
a
summer for
New
sure.
York City summer. One of the best ones that we've had in a minute. A lot of New Yorkers are happy about it, and they're saying that energy of New York is definitely coming back around.
Yeah,
So,
I'm so glad I was able to visit for a while.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Definitely
You
gonna be
picked quite a
back.
time to come. Yeah, you have to come back.
It couldn't
You
have
have
been
to.
better.
Yeah.
Could not have been better.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me
Thank
on the
you.
podcast. I really
like I
appreciate it.
said, I mean, so check out 20XX magazine and New York
Every month.
City cool, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. Don't sleep.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.